Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new video. This is going to be a basically full walkthrough on how to get everything you need in Mob of the Dead Remastered, a map that will be released soon, and the only way to play it right now is by donating to this guy's Patreon. The link will be in the description down below. Now, that being said, this map is new, so there will still be some bugs, but for the most part, it'll all be good enough that you won't really have to deal with any bugs. So that being said, let's get right into the actual video. So first off, we're going to be in the spawn room. We're going to want to zap this like power switch thing and then revive ourselves. That way we can get access to a double points and we can actually play the game. Now that being said, we're going to go through one of these spawn doors. I prefer to go through the one next to the, I think it's M16. However, optimally, you'll go through this door, the one by the Olympia, and go down to see D Street. Going up this little path, we're going to see a mark on the wall for a wolf, and when we kill a zombie in front of it, a wolf is going to pop out. You can buy this B3 AR off the wall if you want to get yourself a quick weapon for points and kills early in the map. Now, like I said, we're going to kill some zombies here, and after I think it's 6 to 10 kills, the wolf will be satisfied. Before we move forward, I think it's important to mention that you need to grab a key, which can spawn either right outside of the door through the M16 wall by, or next to the warden's office. All you need to do is enter afterlife mode and you'll see a big blue spot on the wall. You need to jump through it and zap the things that you see. Once you do that, you can go back into your body through reviving yourself and go to where the key was and just grab it. This key is going to be necessary to open up the map and get all of the pieces to progress through the map. Now, the next two wolves aren't going to be too hard to find. The closest one is by the cafeteria. You're going to go up the stairs in the cafeteria, go through that little room, and on your way to the roof where you're going to build the plane, we're going to see another dog head. And so there, we need to kill another 6 zombies. Then after that, we're going to walk all the way down through the citadel, go through the tunnels, and come out at the docks, where we will find one more dog head and once again get 6 more kills. Now that we have done all of that, we can go back up through the citadel and the tunnels, and there's going to be a spot on, I believe, the left when leaving the citadels that is just a wall. However, there's a hole in it, and in this hole, we are going to see the Hell's Retriever, and that is the first part of how to set up in the map, how to get the Hell's Retriever. The next thing we're going to do is get ourselves a free Blundergat, and that's one of the main things that we get the Hell's Retriever for. If we go up to the top of the roof where you build the plane and head right over here and throw your Hell's Retriever, you'll end up grabbing a blue skull, which should theoretically be attached to the tomahawk. However, sometimes you won't see the skull, but rather you'll just get a noise cue. That noise cue being the same that you would get for spending money on a door in the map like Acid Gat. The next one we want to get is right by the first wolf head we got. Right over here, there's going to be another skull that we're going to throw a tomahawk at. Next, we want to go down through the citadel again and go all the way to the docks, where we can find ourselves 2 skulls. One's right here next to Juggernog, and the other is right over here on the outside of the docks next to where we can see the Mule Kick and PhD Flopper perks. Finally, there's one more skull we can grab right here in the warden's office. If we go right next to Speed Cola, go up to this window and throw our tomahawk at this light post right here, we'll get one more skull. Doing so will allow us to see the Blundergat rise from the warden's desk so we can grab it and move on to the next step. It should also be noted that you can get the Blundergat from the box. However, there's no reason to do it that way if you can just get it for free with the Hell's Redeemer. Speaking of the Blundergat, we can now work on upgrading the Blundergat into the Acid Gat, which actually isn't that difficult. There's 3 pieces for the Acid Gat that have 3 different spawn locations, so I'm going to show them all to you now, as well as one of the places you can build them, which is where I prefer to build mine. So like I said, each item can spawn in one of 3 places, and the first item we're going to be finding is a briefcase, which can spawn right here underneath the stairs leading away from the warden's office. Now if we make our way up these stairs, turn around and go in through the room with the first wolf that we fed, and take a left right down to where we found that skull earlier to get the Blundergat, we can find another possible spawn location for the Acid Gat piece. Finally, we're going to go up these stairs and follow this exact direction that I'm going. Now, you're going to fall down here and just keep following where I'm going. You'll notice this is one of the areas we can get the key to spawn. And if we look just right here, that's the final location that the briefcase can spawn, right across from one of the afterlife boxes. The next piece we can find right close by. If we go up through the cafeteria, up the doors, and then follow this direction, we can find 3 possible spawn locations for like a little cog thing. One is right here on this table. The next is right here next to this bloodbath. And the last piece can spawn right here on this table, which you'll see is where mine spawned. Onto the third and final piece to build the Acid Gat, we're going back to the warden's room, where we can find it in one of 3 spots. Either here, which is where mine was, right next to the speed cola machine. If yours isn't there, go back to the room with the mystery box and look either here or here, as that's where the piece can spawn. And if it doesn't spawn in those 3 possible spots, it'll be right here on this pile of bones next to the window. Now that we have all 3 pieces of the Acid Gat kit, we need to actually go ahead and build it. You can build the Acid Gat kit at any of the workbenches around the map. However, in this video, I chose to build it here in the cafeteria just because it was the easiest thing for me to do. But once you build it, you're going to go ahead and hold F, or if you're using a controller, square or X, while holding the Blundergat. That way, you can put the Blundergat into the Acid Gat kit, and after a few seconds, you'll get your Acid Gat, which you will then hold the F, X, or square button on in order to get your weapon back. Do keep in mind that leaving the Acid Gat in the kit for too long can cause it to despawn, meaning you won't have any Blundergat or Acid Gat, and you'll have to roll on the box until you get the Blundergat again. Thankfully, you won't have to build the Acid Gat again. You can just put the new Blundergat in the Acid Gat kit. Now, finally, we're going to be getting the pieces to make the shield. This is the last thing we need to do before we can actually build the plane and pack-a-punch our weapon. So, in order to build the shield, we're going to go down through the Citadel and tunnels again to find all 3 pieces, as they're very close to each other and not hard to get. We can find the first piece for the shield right here, which is right by Juggernog. It can also spawn where I just aimed, or in one of these 2 corners that I'm about to show you. Yep, these 2. If we don't find it here, we can go back up through the Citadel, and if we keep running, it can spawn right here that I'm aiming at right now. Running out and going back to where we could have found the piece originally, we're going to find the next piece for the shield, which tends to spawn right here in this remaster. However, if it's not there, it can spawn right around here. I like to go up to these corners and hold the interact button, or right there where I'm aiming. Finally, we're going to leave that room and run all the way down here to find our third and final piece for the shield, which can spawn there or there. If we keep going, it can spawn right here, and finally, it can spawn all the way over here, which is where it spawned for me. Once again, we can build the shield at any workbench that doesn't already have something built at it. However, I like to build my shield here every game, right next to the first dog head that we fed. I'd build it here because it's a nice central point for the map where you're basically always passing through, and if you don't have your shield, you can just grab it real quick. So up next, we're going to need to grab 5 pieces to build the plane, which is our way to get to the Pack-a-Punch. And the first piece is up here. This is the room with, I think it was the second wolf head I showed you guys how to get. It's the one that's right above the cafeteria. We'll walk over to that place that I was just aiming at, use our key to open it, and then we can pick it up. Going under there, leaving the cafeteria and going to the showers, we'll run down these stairs, and over here, we will see the laundry machine, where we're going to open it with the key, and we're going to go into afterlife mode. Using afterlife mode, we're going to shock this power switch right here, and then revive ourselves. Once we're revived, we're going to go back over to the laundry machine and press F to interact with it, starting it, and after a short period of time, it will finally finish its cycle, and we're going to get the next piece to build the plane. We're then going to leave the showers and head down to the Citadel, where we're going to see this piece right here. We're going to run to the bottom, and there's going to be a small area that's caged and has 3 locks in it that you're about to see right here. I already opened it in the clip, but if you haven't, once you're in game, you're going to use that warden's key, open it, and then run back to the top to the afterlife box, where you're going to then enter the afterlife mode. Once you're in afterlife mode, you're going to see 3 numbers on the wall in the citadel heading down to those switches. You're going to get a mental note of those numbers. In my game, I think it was 0, 8, and 7. So you're going to get those numbers that you have, run down to the machine with the switches, and put in your number into those switches. You're going to do this by shocking each switch until your number is on those switches. Then you're going to run back up and revive yourself. Now what you're going to want to do is run all the way to the bottom of the citadel and take a left, where we're going to see a small hallway. Once we progress through this mini hallway, we'll see a caged room. Using our key, we can open that cage and get our piece that we just got for the plane, landing us at 3 out of 5 pieces that we need in order to build the plane. Next, we're actually going to be able to take out 2 birds with 1 stone. By heading down to the dock and then taking a right here, we can use our key to open this gate and see the next plane piece. Next to it is the power switch and the afterlife box. So we're going to enter afterlife, run back to this little cage, and we can shoot the power switch, opening the door for that plane piece. Then, instead of reviving ourselves, we're going to turn around and run back up next to where the wolf head is and into that room. There's going to be 3 junction box things that we need to shoot while in afterlife. And what this is going to do is turn off the electricity in the warden's office. So once we've shot all 3 of those, we can run back, revive ourselves, pick up the plane piece down here, then head to the warden's office, unlock a gate to the right on the inside, and finally pick up the last piece we need in order to build the plane and go to Pack-a-Punch. So now that we have all of the parts for the plane, we're going to run back above the cafeteria and hit the junction box here, going into afterlife mode. We're then going to run over into this wall and you'll see a big blue dot again. We're going to run through this dot, jump up, be on the roof, activate this power switch right here, and then we can go through that door and revive ourselves. Now that we're alive and have all of the pieces to build the plane, finally, we can go up to it, hold F, square, or X, whatever your interact button is, build the plane, and hop on it now that we finally have the Redeemer, the Acid Gat, and the shield. Once we are on the plane, we're going to fly over to the Pack-a-Punch. On this Pack-a-Punch bridge, we need to get either 115 kills with nothing but the Hell's Retriever, or we need to go through 3 rounds getting kills with nothing but the Hell's Retriever. I don't know which one is actually correct, so I tend to just go for 3 rounds getting kills with nothing but the Retriever. But after that's done, you can go over to the electric chair and sit in it, die, and go back to spawn and revive yourself. Once you've done that, you're going to want to go through a round, at least finish the round you're on, and then you can go to the first wolf head that you fed and throw your Hell's Retriever in this fiery lava pit right here. You then want to progress through 1 round and go down to the showers, enter afterlife mode through the box, and go to where we originally got the Hell's Retriever. Now it should be blue, and you can only pick it up in afterlife mode. You'll unlock the Hell's Redeemer, which is just a Hell's Retriever that lets you charge it up longer, and it will get more kills and do more damage. This is needed for the Easter egg and the next item that we're going to acquire, the golden spork. Now that we've gotten ourselves a Hell's Redeemer, we're going to run right over here by the warden's office and throw the Hell's Redeemer at this poster right here. The reason we do this is so that we can go and enter the afterlife through this box here, or just through dying, and there will be a new spot open right next to it. It's going to be a big blue hole just like any other place we can enter while in afterlife mode, and we're going to find a spoon right here. We need to zap it until it disappears, and then we can go and revive our character. Once our character is revived, we're then going to need to head over to the cafeteria. Once we head over to the cafeteria, we're going to find a spoon right here in the barrier. We need to throw our Hell's Redeemer at it, and once we successfully hit it, we're going to grab that spoon, giving us a short little animation telling us that yes, we do in fact have the item. Now that we know we have the item, we need to go back upstairs to where that one wolf head is, and we're going to find this bathtub here that's full of blood. Go up to it and hold the action button, and you will place the spoon in there. Now for the final step of this little Easter egg thing, we're gonna go down to the showers where the laundry was, and we're gonna get a bunch of kills with specifically the Acid Gat. After we get enough kills, we'll hear a deep, evil laugh, and that will let us know that we have finished upgrading to the golden spork. Now all we need to do is go back to where we put the spoon in, hold the action button, and we'll get our golden spork. That will be us setting up every single thing that we can get in the map. And now we can finally move on to the last thing, how to do the Easter egg. So the Easter egg itself actually isn't going to be that hard because this might be the world's easiest Easter egg in any Call of Duty Zombies map, well, ever. All we need to do is proceed to fly on the plane 2 more times, which in order to get the plane to work again, you just need to go back to where you got each plane part and the fuel piece will be there. You just gather them all and refill the plane, and once again, you can go off. You need to go to the Golden Gate Bridge just 2 more times, making for a total of 3 flights. Once you've completed the 3rd flight and gone back to Alcatraz Island, you need to go back to the Citadel. You'll need to enter Afterlife mode and proceed to go down to that little switch thing we used to get a piece earlier and put in 4 codes. Those codes are going to be 101, 386, 872, and 481. Each code being the prisoner number for each character. Once this is done, you are going to see these headphone icons and you need to follow them. They'll give you the real story of what actually happened to the characters from Mob of the Dead, leading you slowly to the roof. Once you're at the roof, you're going to go ahead and enter Afterlife mode and fly the plane. Now, this Easter egg, I think is still being worked on since the map is in beta, but once it's done being made, you should be able to, whether you're playing as any of the mobsters or Al himself, fly through the plane and do the boss fight on the bridge. However, as of right now, if you're playing as the Weasel, you will just go to the bridge and it'll say the cycle is broken and game over. But if you're playing as one of the other mobsters, thankfully you will be able to kill a very bad AI of Al. So with that being said, that is the complete setup to this map. It's been wonderful making this video. It was wonderful to get to playtest this map, and I'm so happy I got it. Remember, you can get access to this map for only $8 through donating to this guy's Patreon. Once again, link is down in the description. Please make sure to go check that out. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe, and leave a comment telling me what you thought and what you think of the map itself. I hope you all enjoy the video, and I will see you all next time. Peace.